The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League.
On this episode of the Panthers Huddle, the Panthers get ready to kick off the season, and Coach Dave Canales joins us to tell us what he saw from Bryce in the offense against the Bills.
Plus, I go one-on-one with Jadeveon Clowney.
And Camp Confidential is back. See a sneak peek of the latest episode of our award-winning series.
I went somewhere with another one of my teammates.
Welcome inside the Panthers Huddle. I'm Kristen Balboni.
And I'm Thomas Davis.
TD, we are going to get straight into it. The Panthers close out the preseason on a good note at the Buffalo Bills. We got to start with Bryce Young. 6 for 8, 70 yards, and a touchdown on that opening drive. What'd you think?
Absolutely, KB. That's where it all starts for this football team. Bryce Young is the key to this engine. We got to make sure that Bryce is comfortable, and that's what I saw in this game. He went out, he executed this offense efficiently. He took us right down the field, 6 for 8, 70 yards on that drive, and to finish in the end zone was absolutely what we needed from this first-team offense. And I think that just builds the momentum moving forward into week one. And, hey, Bryce is going to do what Bryce Young does, and I love seeing it.
Did you see enough of it? Was there enough for the starters there in that last preseason game going into the regular season?
You know, for me, it was important for us to go out, start fast, and finish even faster. And I think we didn't get to see the starters a whole lot in the preseason in real game action, but for them to go out and execute at that level against the Buffalo Bills in their house, I think it speaks volumes to the confidence level that we're going to see in this offense, and we're seeing with these guys starting to develop and learn this new scheme. I just feel like as we continue to go on, this thing is going to operate like a well-oiled machine like we were able to see in that first drive.
Those are big words right here. I want to talk to you about the confidence that you just said. If you're a player in that locker room, like you've been in so many times, how do you feel after that game is over?
You know, you got to feel good. Anytime you win in this league, whether it's in the preseason, whether it's in the regular season, it's always a good feeling. It definitely beats the alternative, right? So when you're able to walk away from a big win, you can go back, you can watch the film, and you can correct some of the things that you didn't do as well, but you can also build on the things that you did do well. And I think from week one of the preseason to finishing that third game, I think we were able to see some improvements in all three phases of our game. You know, I feel like this team is definitely trending in the right way, and that's what you want heading into week one. Like I continue to talk about it. It's important to make sure that you're getting better week in and week out, and this football team has absolutely done that.
Well, we've been talking about it. Now as a chance for you all to see it. Here's some of the best plays for that Week 3 preseason game at Buffalo in this week's Bojangles Rewind.
The long-awaited debut of the first string here in this preseason, and that means it's our first look at Bryce Young in Dave Canales' offense.
Here we go!
Second-year quarterback out of Alabama, number 1 pick a season ago.
7 settle, 7 settle, 7 settle. Stay with it. Push the pocket. Push the pocket. Push the pocket.
Young over the middle, his rookie tight end, JT Sanders. Hubbard gets the call. First run play. Chuba Hubbard.
North. Cut it north.
Swivels across the 40-yard line and moves the chains.
Here we go.
Young. That was a shot play. Now he's got to improvise. Third down coming up. Young with time in the pocket. Flush, chased from behind. Throws off his back foot downfield. Deontay Johnson, the first down catch.
Good job!
You got the scramble. Look at the blocking by Ike Kwanu. Taylor Moat.
Fake to Sanders. Young boots right, throws over the middle. It's complete. Old, reliable Adam Thielen. Chuba Hubbard is the running back. It's 3rd and goal. Young fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, boy!
Excellent play design again from Dave Canales.
Way to protect the quarterback. Listen to me, man. Way to compete. Finish the half, right? We'll get points. 3 or 7. I'll take you 1.
Pinheiro from 45. It's good. And like that, it's 17-11. Panthers on top as we go to halftime here in this preseason finale.
Hey, man, keep playing, keep grinding, all right?
Brad Idzik called the second half last week and then called the second half this week again. He did a fantastic job keeping our guys in rhythm, was really connected to Jack Plummer, who had a fantastic day. Just was really excited about those guys having the opportunities and taking advantage of it.
You see the excitement that these guys have for one another.
Plummer eyes downfield, launches downfield.
Oh!
Let's go!
Hits Coker in stride. Touchdown, Carolina. Panthers take one final knee, and that'll do it. Carolina closes the preseason with a 31-26 win at Buffalo.
All right, brother, good luck. Stay safe. All right, stay healthy now.
Coming up, head coach Dave Canales joins us to talk about getting the team ready for the first game against the Saints.
Oh, I'm so fired up with where our scheme's at.
This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers television network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Welcome back to the Huddle. I am here with Panthers head coach Dave Canales. Coach, thank you for joining us. We're in the studio this week.
I know, this is great. It's good to be back in here. And, you know, the change of scenery, normally we're on the field or things like that. So I'm glad to be here with you.
Speaking of the change of scenery, you and the team were in Buffalo for the third preseason game. You certainly closed out the preseason with a bang. Tell me about, let's start with the starters playing. What went into the decision to play your starters for a series?
You know, it was really the whole week leading up to the game. We set it up like a game week. We had a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday format. We had a Saturday walkthrough, got on a plane, got to the hotel, had our meetings. Everyone's locked in mentally, getting their bodies right. And then we wake up and everyone's ready to go. We play at 1 o'clock. You know, we got a bunch of those. So just the whole thing was a success. It was great work leading up to it. It was great to get them out there. A 12-play drive by the offense with some cool situations all the way into the red zone. Couldn't ask for a better situation that way to just practice being in those areas. Defensively, they were on the field longer than they wanted to. I loved it. I loved seeing them work, get sweaty, rotate in and out, and really have to deal with some adversity as the ball started to move. So I really thought it was great just for both groups to feel each other. Some new guys, some new faces, you know, and to feel what they're like on game day. Guys that stood out like Nick Scott, the energy, the aggressive play, capping off hits, firing people up on the sideline. Just some guys like that that kind of emerged with their uniform on that I was pleasantly surprised with.
You are known for your energy. You want energy from the players. Did you feel it there at the game?
Oh, absolutely. It was great. And celebrating the things that look like us. Finishing runs right, finishing on the sideline with violence, you know, defensively running and, you know, fitting off of each other. Shaq had a really nice sideline to sideline, classic Shaq Thompson play. Bam, about a 3-yard gain, but like the guy where he hit him, he wrapped him up, he was done right there. And so just some things that showed up, you know, some classic Derek Brown just causing problems, you know, for the Bills offensive line. So really cool to kind of see those things. I want them to know what they can count on week to week.
All right, Coach, well, it was a success all around in Buffalo. What else stood out to you about the game?
Well, I think it was just exciting to have the opportunities for Pete Hansen, our linebackers coach, to call the defense for the first half. And then Jonathan Cooley, our defensive pass game coordinator, called the second half. To see those guys go through some different situations and challenges, you know, having to overcome adversity, you know, with Cooley in the second half, the Bills ran out of running backs, so he's having to figure out calls for no running back sets. You know, it was tight ends and receivers mostly, and so that was great. I thought Ajero giving those guys an opportunity to have those experiences with the players, communicating was great. And then, of course, Brad Idzik, our offensive coordinator, he called the second half of the Jets game last week, called the second half of the Bills game this week, and it seems like all he does is call touchdowns. So I might have a little run for my money right here, but I was really excited that we're a developmentally minded staff. We're a developmentally minded organization, and this is exactly what we want. We want our coaches to continue to grow and have their sights set on what's the next thing for them.
Let's talk about this roster now. So you were down to your final 53. How happy are you with where the team is right now?
Oh, I'm so fired up with where our scheme's at. The culture of what we're trying to do, the language and how we treat each other in this building, and just having that mindset of like working on the next thing now, you know, and just having that presence together. So I love where we're at in that regard. But again, this is a really important time for us to really evaluate everybody. We have a lot of information on guys, but as we look across the league, we're looking to challenge our roster, challenge all these positions that we've kind of, you know, assembled through the spring and through training camp. But like, there's still a possibility that we can find someone that's going to help the Panthers. I love having that mindset for ourselves, for the coaches, and for the players that are here. Like, guys, we're going to compete to put the best team out there week 1.
I want to dive into that a little bit more. For the coaching staff, what are the priorities in these next few days before the regular season starts?
Well, it's twofold. So we have some notes and some things that we're collecting going into week 1 versus the Saints. But then also just really looking at making sure that our depth chart currently is where we want it. And then where do players that become available fit in on our depth chart? And so we have to be honest. We owe it to everybody a part of this organization to look at those things and say, hey, our guy can help us here in this position. Somebody else that we don't know looks like he could potentially come in this spot and help us. So the coaches are all kind of all hands on deck, you know, evaluating all that stuff as we go through it.
And what is the process with the players? What are you telling the players? How are you getting them ready to start this regular season?
Yeah, really just focusing on one day at a time. We're trying to get one day better. And so when we come back for this week, it's like, how do we continue to recapture our work ethic? How do we build off of the conditioning and fitness base that we've created during training camp? And then how can we transition our mindset to like really starting to watch more opponent film versus like evaluating training camp practices and all that. Now, let's start looking at what the opponent's doing and what we can expect and start to really just collect information.
Such an exciting time. We are getting closer and closer to the regular season. Coach, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you stopping in.
Thanks for having me.
I think we help sharpen each other every single day. You know, we challenge each other. I'm not afraid to challenge him. He's not afraid to challenge me.
What do we need this year, and how are we going to accomplish that, as well as what's going to position us best for the long term? So being aligned with our coaching staff in everything that they need, and also being mindful of how are we going to field a competitive roster in the future.
You know, I think it just speaks to you know, the strength we have in that room. You know, a lot of guys that, again, they worked hard. You know, happy for everyone who made it, and you know, who's on the team. I think we have a great room. A lot of people that you know, contribute. And again, it's just cool seeing the growth of those of the guys that are here. You know, from first got them, whether it be OTAs, training camp, whatever it may be, and then just seeing them develop and grow, get more comfortable in the system. All of us kind of being able to do that together. So I'm super excited for that.
So look, this is a dog. Everybody's a dog, but you got different kind. So you got Chihuahuas, you got Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Neapolitan Mastiffs. So like, yeah, I'm a dog person. So it's like you kind of sometimes you got to pick and choose like what kind you is. Like that don't mean be a Chihuahua, but at the same time, like you can't just in every situation be trying to be aggressive and over the top. So yeah, got to be smart with it.
What kind of breed of dog are you? What do you say?
All right, so I'll say I'm a pit bull, but with the body of a Neapolitan Mastiff.
Up next, I go one-on-one with Jadeveon Clowney.
Closed captioning for the Panthers Television Network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
Welcome back to the Huddle, and right now I have with me the man, the myth, the legend, Jadeveon Clowney, Rock Hill, South Carolina's very own. Listen, Clowney, what does it feel like? I'm going to jump right into it. What does it feel like to be back at home playing for the home team?
Man, it's great. Great experience, be back home. Got my family here. Year 11, man, a lot of experience to offer to the young group. Just out and have fun here.
You just talked about it, and I'm going to segue right into it. You talked about having your family here, and I understand and know what that's like, you know, to play for your home state. What do you anticipate it being like on game days when it comes to these tickets? How many tickets do you think you're going to have to give out over the course of this season?
At least 15 again. That's why I got a suite this year. I had to get a suite for the family, man. So I think there's going to be a lot of people trying to come to the game. Everybody DMing me on social media right now asking me about the games, and I'm like, hey, man, just hit me up a couple days in advance so I can try to see what I can do for you.
Can you talk to our fan base about one of the things that you're looking forward to being back home the most? Like, in coming back home, there was something that you were absolutely excited about. Let our viewers know what that thing was for you.
Just being back here, I haven't been in front of Carolina fans in a long time since college, and I remember how the experience was when the stadium was rocking and going crazy. So I hope we bring that same experience back to Charlotte when right down the road from where I started at in Carolina. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been able to accomplish a lot of things over the course of your career. Yeah. What are some of the things that you can identify that you're most proud of, and what are some of the things as your career continues to go on that you're looking forward to accomplishing?
To be in year 11, I'm most proud about that. How I started up my career with injuries my first game, and for me to bounce back and after injury, bounce back and find myself 11 years in. It's a blessing, and I'm looking forward to them sacks, man. I'm still chasing high sack numbers every year, trying to prove people I still belong in the lead, and you know, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be for me. It ain't about the money and that. It's the grind and still proving people wrong. So
well,
that's my
Jadeveon,
thing.
I've had the opportunity to watch you practice, to watch you play. I can say personally that I'm very excited about what you bring to this team, not only from a playing standpoint and what you're able to do on the field, but a leadership. Having 11 years in this league, with us having a fairly young football team, just having that veteran leadership is going to be huge for us. What are some of the things that you've been able to accomplish from a leadership standpoint since you've gotten here?
Just really the practice habits, man. The practice habits has been great through our group. I stay on top of them, tell them, man, you take advantage of all your opportunities while you're out here. You never really know where you're going to end up, how this thing going to unfold in the National Football League. You take it day by day. So you take advantage of every opportunity you get to walk on this field and step on it. So that's what I learned over my career, so I try to pass that to the young guys.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I can tell you personally, Clowney, I've been one of the people that's been advocating to you, you know this, to come back home.
For sure.
I'm glad we have this opportunity to have you. It's going to be a phenomenal season. As you guys can see, we're out here sweating. These guys are grinding. I'm just standing out here talking and asking questions. But thank you guys for tuning in inside the Huddle, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, TD, the 53-man roster is set, and it is almost time for the Panthers to begin the regular season.
And the journey to get there is documented in our award-winning series, Camp Confidential. Check out this clip from our latest episode.
Amp them boys up, man. Amp them up. You ain't gotta tell us. You ain't gotta tell us, Coach. You ain't gotta tell us.
There's only one thing left to do. Run and hit. Come on, go. Get out, find work.
Next time you better tell us you mic'd up. That's a fine.
There's a couple of really strong groups, putting them out there to see what they can do and how they can contribute.
The guys that are going to make this team are going to be the guys that do their job, and we can count on them to do their job every down. It's got to be better.
Throughout the whole draft process, I was hoping that I went somewhere with another one of my teammates, just like a friend already there.
You already know, we the engine to this thing. I got you, you got me.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, boys!
Hey, they're having a come-together meeting. Stay on their ass.
Talking to the camera today, too? That's a big fun.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on! That's what I'm talking about.
All right, TD, we have been talking about it all show. The preseason is done. It is almost time to start the regular season. So right now, TD is going to give us the Coke 3 keys to getting ready for the regular season.
Yes, KB. Key number 3, we jump right into this. You have to solidify your lineup. You know, there are a lot of things that come with ending the preseason. You got guys that are banged up. You got position battles. You got to make a decision on who's going to win that battle. We know ultimately it comes down to the players and how they played. But I just feel like you have to be sound and confident in knowing who your lineup is and where guys are going to be. That's our third key. Number 2, you have to make sure that you're sound with your game plan. You want a game plan that guys can go out and execute at a high level, that they can play fast, and you can see how athletic these guys truly are by allowing them to go out and play fast. And the number 1 key going into week 1 is making sure that these guys understand that in a division game, these games count twice. So you got to make sure when you're going on the road, you got to understand New Orleans is a hostile environment. You got to handle the crowd noise, but you got to make sure that you come away with this win to set yourself up for games down the road.
All right, well said. Well, our time is up for this week, but we want to thank head coach Dave Canales for stopping by on behalf of Thomas Davis. I am Kristen Balboni. Thank you so much for watching, and
keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.